Madam President, it's that time of year again when students come back from their summer vacations to go to school. This year, some students are breathing easier. They were the victims of a for-profit university, so-called university, Ashford University. I've come to the floor so many times to state the obvious. These for-profit universities are generally a terrific waste of taxpayers' dollars and students' time. Now, there are going to be two questions on the final, and the answers I'm going to give you ahead of time are 8 and 30. And the first question is, what percentage of high school kids go to for-profit universities? 8%. That's one of the questions. The second is, what percentage of student loan defaults involve students who went to for-profit colleges and universities? The answer is 30%. 8% of the students, 30% of the defaults. Why? They overcharge these students, they lie to them, pile them up with debt, and turn them loose. Now, there comes a point when these students, burdened with debt, petition the government and say we were defrauded and deceived. In Ashford University's case, that's exactly what happened. Last week, the Department of Education announced that it's canceling $72 million in student loan debt for more than 2,300 victims of Ashford University. It's a prime example. Ashford is a prime example of the pervasive rot and abuse that exists in the for-profit college industry. An industry that enrolls 8% of the students with 30% of the defaults tells the story. In investigating it, the Department of Education found that Ashford just lied to students about the cost of attendance by promising they wouldn't have any out-of-pocket costs when they graduated. Not only was this a lie, but many students reached their lifetime loan limits attending Ashford, and some students were forced to drop out, leaving them with a debt and no degree. Ashford consistently misrepresented the ability to transfer credits from their worthless university to any other school. They misled students about accreditation and licensure status and lied about the length of a bachelor degree program. It was all a disaster from start to finish for these kids fresh out of high school who thought they were going to college, a real college. Now listen to this. Ashford isn't disappearing. This is great. Despite Ashford's record of deceitful behavior, the University of Arizona acquired it in 2020, renamed it as the University of Arizona's global campus. But even with its shiny new name, this global campus is still the same predatory, low-life Ashford that focused on student recruitment and enrollment over student success and outcome. In fact, Ashford brought over the same key staffers who perpetrated their deceit on these students for so many years. I urge the department to do its job, discharge these student loans, and recoup the funds from Ashford. For-profit colleges has been taking advantage of vulnerable students for far too long. It's time that these fraudulent institutions, not the taxpayers, be financially on the hook. And I yield the floor.